Okay, the next set of questions is family and personal. How old are you? I get that question a lot, and I am 31, but in YouTube years, YouTube is kind of like dog years. So actually you're always older than you really are, or you appear older than you really are. So I'm 62 in YouTube years. I'm just kidding though, because sometimes people take me seriously. No, I'm not really 62. I'm 31, for real. But no, really. People do say some nasty comments on age. You know, if you're any older than a teeny bopper, you may get those comments too. But you know, there's so many young people on here that when you throw in some middle-agers, you know, like I guess I am now, then you seem old, right, compared to all of the young whippersnappers on here. So yeah, I mean, and my advice would be to any of the young whippersnappers that want to leave comments on, you know, people's channels about, oh, you're too old to be on here or something. Don't do that, because you know why? We're all heading in the same direction. So before you know it, you are going to be my age, and you're going to be looking back like, what are those whippersnappers talking about? I still feel like I'm 18. I mean, seriously, I still feel like I'm 18. But I'm 31 now. That's like the only difference. It's just a number. You're as young as you feel, trust me. Do you plan on having kids? No. I know I get that question so much. Those are like my two main questions. How old are you, and are you planning on having kids? No, Michael and I are, he's 40 by the way. Oh shoot, I think I just answered one of the questions. Okay, so we have already decided that is not the route that we want to go. Neither of us. He's always felt the same way, very strongly, the same way his whole life. He's not interested in having kids. I have always felt the same way my whole life. I'm not interested in having kids. That is something for other people. A lot of other people are, you know, they enjoy having children and all of that and having big families, and that is perfectly fine for them. I think that I'm more meant to take care of animals. I'm like more into animals than I am, you know, raising children. And that's just me personally. So, you know, that's just how I've always been, and I'm never going to change. That's just how I am. Are you, okay, now we're going to get into the personal part. That was like more of the soft, that's like the soft opening there. Now we're going into the more personal stuff. Are you a Christian? Yes, I am a Christian. Do you believe in God? Yes. And I was actually like kind of surprised to hear these kind of questions, but it came after I had mentioned in a tag video that I don't celebrate Christmas, so I can answer the Christmas type questions. So that's where it came from. But anyways, yes, I'm a Christian. Yes, I believe in God. Why don't you celebrate Christmas? Because I was raised one of Jehovah's Witnesses, and we don't celebrate Christmas. And how long, I mean, someone asked how, you know, how did I get into being a witness? My family raised me that way. They were witnesses, their parents before them, and even my great-grandfather was. And let's see, the other question would be, because I did answer someone in the comments, and so they had, you know, other people had asked me questions back from that, and that is, are you still practicing? Well, I do my best as I am right now, but I'm not practicing like I should be. So that's an area of my life that I want to get better at, and even though I'm not there yet. So I'm not perfect, but yeah, there's always room for bettering yourself in those kind of different ways. So oh, someone did ask, actually several people asked if I would explain my beliefs, and I don't want to get into it any more than that, because I just feel like you know, since this is a YouTube channel and it's like about beauty and vlogging, I just don't feel it's the proper place. So I hope you don't mind, but I'm just gonna, you know, kind of pass on getting into explaining beliefs, because like I said, people, like honestly, people get worked up enough with me just talking about blush and lipstick, for goodness sakes. It's like, if I was to get into something that's like a really sensitive topic like religion, I can only imagine what kind of like attacks and flack I would get from that. So I'm just gonna not even go there any further. How often do you visit your family? Every few years, basically. So, you know, they're far away. I haven't got to the mainland in, I don't know, 2 years maybe, something like that. So yeah, but we will be going soon in January. Next set of questions is fitness and nutrition. So for working out, what weights did you start with? So talking about like my dumbbells, like what weight were they when I first started? They were 8 pounds. Those were the first dumbbells I ever purchased, were 8-pounders. And I had ankle weights. I've had the same ankle weights for like, I don't know, 16 years now or something. My dad gave them to me. And he's like a total health nut. He's always been into fitness and nutrition, so that's probably where I got it from, really. So yeah, he instilled good health and nutrition guidelines in me, I guess. But he gave me my first set of ankle weights, and they were 5 pounds, and it's still what I use today. Next question, do you have any weight loss tips? I do have some tips for you, but I will tell you right now that I personally have never had a problem with gaining weight. I never have been one to gain weight. I've always been like the same weight, like since like my entire adult life. So I can't give you like personal tips that way, but I do have some tips to share with you on that. And that is, I used to eat whatever I want, like all kinds of junk food, right? I was like a cookie monster. I loved milkshakes and Oreos and Doritos and Fritos and oh geez, Rice Krispies treats, Little Debbie Swiss rolls, and I could eat like 3 or 4 packages of Little Debbie Swiss rolls in a blink of an eye. And yeah, so don't think that I've always eaten healthy, because that is so not how it is. But still, I never gained weight. I've always been the same. So the tips that I'm going to give you though is this, that I did start eating clean actually this past year. Like when I was growing up, I ate pretty clean, you know, because my dad, like I said, he was a health nut, so he was like always on us to eat good, right? So basically it was kind of like when I got on my own, my diet started going downhill. I was just like eating kind of whatever I could and on the go, and sort of just got wrapped up in eating sweets because I had a natural sweet tooth. And yeah, so after eating like junk food for several years and then getting cystic acne, like really bad on my cheeks, and somehow I wasn't tying it together, which I was like eating a lot of dairy, a lot of junk food, and I finally determined that dairy was causing my cystic acne like a few years ago. So I slowly started declining on that, you know, trying to eat less of the dairy. And then I started with the junk food. So this past year, when I kind of got onto my natural skincare journey and all of that, that's when I really started culling out and cleaning up my diet and truly eating clean. So it was really just this year that I just started eating like truly clean. And I feel so much better and so much healthier, and it just feels good. And I have so much more energy. It's like an unbelievable difference. So something else I want to say with that, so although I have never had a weight problem, although I have never gained weight no matter what I ate, there is a difference in your body and your tone and your muscle. So basically, you know, I started eating clean, I started working out a lot more. So both of those factors kind of reshaped my body a little. So, you know, from eating junk food, I had, you know, puffier cheeks. I had like more like inflammation going on, and, you know, my thighs were slightly bigger. Although, you know, I've always been slim, but I could tell, you know, that I was just kind of, overall, I just felt kind of like puffier and bloated or something, you know. So, yeah, so after, that was when I was eating my junk food. So when I started cleaning up my diet, you know, I got better muscle tone, and because I was working out at the same time. So although my weight didn't really change, I've stayed like 125 pounds, I gained more muscle tone and lost more of that like little layer of flab that was kind of like across my abs and on my thighs and on my puffy cheeks, you know? So that's kind of how it went. So I'm still the same weight. So it's funny how that works though. But your body does kind of rebuild itself. It like reshapes itself. So I kind of like whipped it into shape. And yeah, I have more energy than like I ever did before. How did you begin the process of eating clean? Okay, I guess I already answered that. So yeah, that's how I began. Was just mostly it was a concern for my skin. The health of my skin was not good when I was eating all that junk. So after cleaning that up, you know, that was motivation. Getting better skin was motivation to keep eating clean. Because the next question is, how did you stick with it? Motivation. So how did I begin the process of eating clean? I'll tell you exactly the steps I went through, and I will suggest this for anyone who's on kind of a, if you're a junk food junkie like I was, this may help. And it is, take one thing out of your diet that's bad, like a bad habit, like for me, Little Debbie Swiss rolls. Okay, we're gonna switch that out and we're gonna eat dates, medjool dates instead. So I like them equally, but this is gonna be way healthier for me than this, So I kind of replaced it one at a time, those treats and things that I used to like to have, until before I knew it, my diet was clean. So that's the best way that I can recommend. It's a slow process, but you won't feel like you're depriving yourself at all, because you're not. You're just trading those things out, and before you know it, you've created your own healthy, clean eating menu. Next question, why don't you eat dairy? Okay, I guess I answered that already too, is because I get the worst cystic acne ever from dairy. It like tears up my skin. So I absolutely can't have it. And I decreased it slowly over time too. It wasn't like I just went cold turkey on it, because I love dairy. And when I first found out that I thought maybe that was the cause of it, I was like heartbroken, because I loved cottage cheese, I love sour cream, I love whipped cream and all of that stuff. It just hurt me to know that that was hurting my skin, so badly, and that I was gonna have to stop it in time. But there's so many other things out there, so many other options. There's almond milk, and there's all kinds of soy products and coconut milk products and all kinds of stuff out there that you can replace it with, and you won't even, I don't even miss it now. So yeah, I'm all good now, totally over dairy. Are you a vegan or vegetarian? I consider myself vegetarian because I don't eat meat, but I don't eat dairy now either. So, I'm not vegan, because even though I don't eat meat or dairy, I own leather products. Like my handbag is leather. I have Uggs. I have a leather belt. I use lip balm that has beeswax in it. So none of that is vegan. So I'm not a vegan. I'm just vegetarian. If for one day you can indulge in any kind of junk food with no effects on you, what would you eat? Cheesecake? Oh, I would take out a cheesecake, you know it. Next, what would be your favorite food if you lived in a country with a cold climate? Okay, that is a really good question, because I really don't know what my favorite food would be. Like out here, I eat a lot of, fresh, raw fruits and vegetables and stuff. But in a cold climate, I'm sure I would be eating more like soups and stews and hot, kind of hearty food. Alright, so the next set of questions is actually about married life, and I'm just going to go ahead and save that for a separate video because I've gotten lots of questions about relationships and things like that. So I'm actually going to get Michael in on that too. So we'll do a separate video for that, and if there's anything that I didn't answer enough in these past two videos, then just let me know, and we can always do a separate, more individual, more in-depth video on one of these topics that you guys are interested in. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will talk to you again soon. Bye.